Hey, and welcome to ERS Roofing's YouTube page. My name is Lyle Morris. I'm the president of ERS Roofing, and what I wanted to do today is go ahead and just kind of talk about a little bit about like an intro to ERS and what we're about. So for anybody who has never heard of us, hopefully this video helps you. We're located in Raleigh, North Carolina, and what I'm going to do today is I'm going to kind of go over a brief presentation that I presented to a business networking group I'm a part of. And so I have 7 minutes to give that presentation when I'm in person. So it's not very long. This shouldn't be a long video, but I will go over this just so you have an idea of what we're about and the type of business I wanted to create when I created ERS Roofing. So first of all, you'll see here my name, Lyle Morris. Like I've said, I'm the president. ERSRoofingNC.com is our website. And then my cell phone number is right there, 919-612-5210. Up in the upper right-hand corner, you can see my old logo, the white and black. That was the one that I created. And then the orange one is our new logo, which is on our trucks and things like that, and our signs. So let's get started. This is an introduction to my family here. It's my wife Alexa, my little baby girl. She's 1. Actually, right now as I record this video, she's about to turn 2. Her name is Eliza, and then my buddy over here is Ezra. You'll see Eliza here in the beach. We like to travel, and really I just like to spend time with my family, spend time outdoors, and we love to travel as a family. Oops. All right, here's some more photos. I had a little bit more hair on my face in this picture, but this was from a family reunion last summer, and we all dressed up like cowboys. It was a good time. The middle picture is Ezra at the beach, and then the right picture is Eliza there in the middle with her cousins at the family reunion. So why ERS? Why the name? That's always an interesting question when people say, what's ERS stand for? And it's funny because it doesn't actually stand for anything. ERS, when I first named the company, I was just creating the LLC to go to work for another roofing company as a sales rep. So the name really wasn't that big a deal. I never really realized that it would be an actual company. I never had an intention of creating a roofing company. I was in the roofing sales space for a few years and never wanted the quote-unquote headache of running my own company. Fast forward several months later, and I found myself in the perfect position to open my own company, and so I just kept the LLC that I had, which was ERS Roofing. And so the reason I named it this is because when I was naming the company, Ezra, my son, he's now 3, almost 4. He was 2 at the time. And behind his wall in his room, we have block letters EZRA. And so every night, my wife and I, Alexa, we'd go over to the wall and we'd have him ready for bed and all that. And I'd say, all right, buddy, let's spell your name. EZRA. Ezra. And he would do this every time without fail. He'd go ERS, Ezra, and do his little hand on his chest like that. So cute. So we were like, you know what? It sounds like a good business name. And I stuck with it. Like I said, when I started my own company, I stuck with it. And when I tell that story, people absolutely love it. Which is funny to me because I always thought I was like, oh, this is kind of dumb. But they love it. They like we're a real family, and stuff happens. All right, so I've talked about the name, why ERS the name. Now let's talk about why ERS the company. So like I said, we're in Raleigh, North Carolina. Throughout my career as a roofing salesman, I found this theme amongst my customers, and you'll see some of the feedback I would get. You're the only roofer who called me back. You're the only one who showed up. You wouldn't believe how many people I've had quote this, and then they won't answer my calls. I'm trying to give them my money. I had somebody tell me that I'm trying to give this company my money, and they won't answer my calls. And my question is, when a company who you're trying to give your money to does not answer your calls, what do you think is going to happen if you ever had an issue? They're not going to answer the phone. So that warranty that they have is basically void, because if they don't answer the phone, they're not going to service the warranty. Nobody called, nobody showed up, and then a lack of professionalism. So mainly that responsiveness was the big thing that I realized that I possessed, whether I was born with it or I think it's something that you cultivate over time, just like any other discipline. But the responsiveness, the professionalism, and then of course reliability was the three themes that I found my customers were giving me feedback on, the things that they liked about me and didn't necessarily like about another company. So with that in mind, those three principles, if you want to call them that I named, are the three that I found my company on. Responsiveness, right? So we're going to answer your texts, we're going to answer your calls, we're going to answer your emails in a timely manner. It doesn't mean we're always going to be available to call you or text you or email you right back, but in a very timely manner, we're going to get back to you and we're going to let you know what's going on, and we are going to communicate with you. I feel like the open communication, the dialogue, right? Not monologue. It's not just one person telling somebody else. It's a dialogue between the company and the customer. And so responsiveness is our number one priority. Our next one is reliability. So we're going to do what we say we're going to do when we say we're going to do it, and we're going to do it the right way. I have a little quote written right here on it's not on my desk, but it's on my desk. It says, do the right thing the right way. And I think that's a good summary of what the culture I'm trying to cultivate at ERS is we want to do the right thing the right way, and we want to have the customer's best interests at heart. And so the third principle that I found my company on is professionalism. So we're not going to show up, we shouldn't show up in like cut off shorts or things like that. And more than just dress code. Professionalism to me means showing up and being kind to the customer. Not, somebody like me who's been in the roofing industry for a few years, I know a lot of things about roofing and I could probably spout them off like that, but I'm not going to show up and talk to a homeowner and talk down to them, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm not gonna try and elevate and show you how smart I am. That's part of being professional to me. So we're going to treat you kind in a professional manner. That's the third one. And so all of these principles kind of came together when I really started brainstorming, trying to figure out and meditating on what I wanted the culture I wanted around the company. All of these kind of principles came together when I thought about this scenario. I have an elderly grandmother. She's in her mid-80s now, but she doesn't live by herself. But, just a few years ago she did. Well, I thought about if my grandmother had a leak or something like that with her roof, and she called a roofing company to come out, how would I want that company, that contractor, to treat my elderly grandmother? And so these three principles are really the three I felt that kind of converged on that same point. And so thus these were born. But that's what I have in mind, and I feel like that's what we hold at our core, is that we want to treat every customer like they're our elderly grandmother, who, let's be frank, doesn't know anything about roofing. So we're not going to take advantage of her. We're not going to tell her she needs a new roof if she doesn't. We're not going to sell her a bunch of stuff she doesn't need. So we want to be honest and professional and really have that customer's best interest at heart. And so that's very, very important to me. And obviously, me as the president, that's hopefully the idea is it's gonna go downhill and spread throughout the culture of the company. So this slide talks about advantages of ERS, and we'll be brief here, but our founding principles, the things I've talked about, that's the biggest advantage. The dedication and care, the actual. I don't know if you can train the care aspect. So I want to, as I bring people on board in this company, they, as best I can tell, they have these principles just at the core of who they are, and so that's the type of people we want. And so another advantage that some people may not even realize is that some roofing companies, especially some large roofing companies, they either don't do repairs, or they won't necessarily quote repairs, or perhaps they'll quote repairs so high that they don't have to do them. And the reason they do this is because they don't, excuse me, their company, at least in my experience, here's what I've personally experienced. Other companies are set up in a way to where their main goal is just to get out there. The salesman's main goal is to get out there and get on as many roofs as possible and file as many claims, insurance claims, as possible. So, and I'm sure you can imagine the conflicts that arise out of that, and just there's a certain lack of customer service that arises out of that culture. And so I wanted to do away with that. We're able to handle roof repairs, full roof replacements, residential, commercial, metal, it doesn't matter. And we're always constantly expanding. I'm not going to talk about it right now, but I do have some other interesting and exciting avenues or branches of the company coming down the line too. So I'm always wanting to do what's best for the customer. And of course, that third bullet there, we put the customer's best interest first. So those are the advantages of working with ERS. And this slide doesn't necessarily pertain to you. This was for my business group, but for referral partners. So I won't even really go over that. Go back here to the very first. And there's my contact info again. So let's see. There we go. So if you've made it this far, thank you for watching. We're right at almost 14 minutes, so I'll make this really brief. So stick around the channel. I'm going to post more of these. This is not going to be highly edited. I'm not to the place where I'm hiring a really high-tech social media team right now. But I've got to put stuff out there for you guys. The customers, the person who's online looking and saying, I don't know who I can trust. Well, hopefully this video helps you, because you're seeing the guy who owns the company 100%. It's my company, and at the moment, zero debt. And so we're going to be around for a while. And if you're in the Raleigh, the Triangle area, Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, Clayton, I actually used to live in Creedmoor, so up to Creedmoor, Henderson, Knightdale, Zebulon, that whole area, even down Garner, Apex. That's where we are, and we want to serve the community. So I hope this is giving you some insight into who we are as a company, and giving you a little bit of hopefully ease your mind if you are looking for a roofing company that you can trust us. And so right here, 15 minutes. I appreciate you watching, and see you on the next one.